Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about is all of the insane amounts of articles that have come out in just the last month in an attempt to try to demonize, and I mean they are really focusing on the meat right now, guys. The articles I've just been reading have been absolutely crazy, getting to the point of absolute paranoia and psychosis, making you fear that the world will end if you eat one more morsel of protein. How horrible the world is and will even become because you keep eating meat. All right, let's go through the articles, and then I'm going to get to an article that I want to concentrate more on because it hits closer to home and homesteads. So stick with me. Here's the first one. Over at the New York Post, it says you might be eating an artery-damaging amount of protein. New study warns. This came out just a couple days ago. Again, from the New York Post, and the amount of protein is harmful. It turns out there's such a thing as too much protein, it says. Say it ain't so. It says researchers from the Pitt School of Medicine found that the consumption of excessive protein can lead to atherosclerosis, which is the buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on the artery walls. The buildup, also called plaque, can cause the arteries to narrow, blocking blood flow, or burst, which can lead to a blood clot. I think we all know what's leading to blood clots these days. And of course, in the article, they have this mean-looking man with piercings and with tattoos. And, he's got the gangster, the Italian gangster gold bracelet on, and he's eating meat. Over at the next website, NDTV World News, says more than 100 billion animals are eaten every year. On the top is chicken. I think the article says over 200 million chickens every day, and that's just too much. More than 140,000 chickens are slaughtered every minute. This has to stop. Next article over at Bloomberg.com. One simple change to reduce your climate impact: swap out beef. This article came out just this morning. Replacing beef with a different protein, even for just one meal, can cut the emissions footprint of a person's diet that day by as much as half. Next time you're out for lunch, try playing a little game. Without looking it up, can you find the most and least climate-friendly options on the menu? Yes, we have to save the planet. It's dying, don't you know? And it's dying because you can't give up your meat. Unlike a meal's price, the greenhouse gas footprint of food isn't typically spelled out, but you don't need to ask a climate scientist to find out either. There's one simple trick for identifying the highest impact item on almost any menu. If there's beef, that's probably it. Next article. Vegetarians have lower cancer risk than meat eaters. This came out earlier this month, about 20 days ago. It says vegetarians have a 14% lower risk of getting cancer compared to meat eaters, according to a new study. Researchers from Oxford University based their findings on data from more than 470,000 people. That means they must be right. The study also found that pescatarians had a 10% lower... Pescatarians? Okay, has a 10% lower risk when compared to people who eat meat. That's what we want to be. We all want to be pescatarians. In the study, meat eaters were defined as people who ate meat more than 5 times a week. Oh, those horrible people. So, again, just another article coming out recently about how meat is bad and how it's going to give you cancer. It's a scary, scary world out there if you're a meat eater. Then we had this article that came out about 20 days ago, a couple weeks ago. It says people on this island in Italy live to be 100. Here's a look at their diet for longevity. And it lists their diet, and oh, look at that. There's a woman on the island holding a basket of vegetables. Sardinia, Italy, is one of the world's 5 blue zones. Blue zones. I don't think that color is happenstance. Or places around the world where an unusually large number of people live to be 100 or longer, because they want to equate blue with voting blue, because blue is where you live longer, you're healthier, and that's how Democrats vote. We vote blue. For these vibrant Sardinian senior citizens, what they eat plays an important role in longevity, but you don't need to live in Italy to get these culinary health benefits, and I can just go ahead and save you the trouble. On the list of all the things they eat, there is nothing mentioned about meat. That rhymed. But this was the article that I wanted to concentrate on today. This insanity of an article, because this comes to, I mean, if you're a homesteader like me, you hunt deer. It's part of your diet. You may have some deer in your freezer recently because the hunting season just got over in the fall. And so now we're in winter, and winter is normally the time when people eat meat because the world is your refrigerator, and mostly back throughout time in history, slaughterings of your farm animals happened in wintertime because you could age the meat properly. You could then take all that meat and then put it into different culinary things like sausages and, all those, all the salamis, all that stuff. Okay. And age them. And that all took place in the wintertime. So if you're a recent, deer hunter and you've got some deer in the freezer, they're trying to scare you into not doing that anymore. We've got to get you to stop eating meat, and that means stop hunting. Scientists worry 100% of, and this came out just the other day, Scientists worry 100% fatal zombie deer disease could evolve to affect humans. It's a 100% fatal zombie disease, guys. And they had this picture here of these supposed zombies walking the streets. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into the fear. Scientists have expressed concerns about the spread of a sickness called zombie deer disease. See, this is called CWD. It's been around for years. I've been doing videos on this for years. You can Google an American Homestead CWD and see the videos I've done in the past on this. This is not new. But now they're changing the name from chronic wasting disease, or CWD, to zombie deer disease as a way to make a larger impact on your thought process and people who might hunt deer and eat them. They're afraid it might evolve and start infecting people. Last year, researchers found the first case of this infection in Yellowstone National Park. A deer carcass was found in the Wyoming area of the park, tested positive for the highly contagious disease. It has been officially called chronic wasting disease, or CWD. Rapid spread and lethal effects of zombie deer disease raise concerns globally. Yes, because the World Economic Forum and the United Nations and the World Health Organization, they want you to stop eating this stuff because it's affecting the world. The disease is showing up in deer, elk, and moose in 33 different states in the U.S. and has been also reported in parts of Canada, Norway, and South Korea. See, that's a world problem. CWD damages portions of the brain and typically causes progressive loss of body condition, behavioral changes, excessive salivation, and death, according to the New York State Department of Health. The infection is said to be 100% fatal with no treatment or vaccines. Oh, see, this is where we're going to go. See, you can keep eating your deer. You just need to, we just need treatments and we need vaccines. Boy, this is like when the pharmaceuticals see something coming. This is like their chance to jump on this opportunity. The bottom line message is we are quite unprepared, Michael Osterholm, an expert in infectious diseases at the University of Minnesota, told KFF Health News in early February. If we saw a spillover right now, we would be in free fall. There are no contingency plans for what to do or how to follow up. Yes, this is an immediate emergency. We must act now. Scientists believe the main way people might get the zombie deer disease is by eating meat from infected deer. Even though thousands of deer and elk with the sickness are eaten every year, there haven't been confirmed cases of people getting sick from it. So there are no examples of this ever happening, and it even says thousands of deer and elk with the sickness are eaten every year. The next line says this, but that doesn't mean it couldn't change in the future, experts predict. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. You're going to be turned into a zombie if you keep eating meat. And see, this just isn't for deer. Cows get mad cow disease. You might get turned into a cow zombie if you eat cow. You eat beef. Guys, they are out in full force to get you to stop eating meat. They can't stand the fact that you would raise meat and eat meat. They want you to eat their crickets. What this all comes back down to, guys, is depopulation of the planet. Okay, depopulation. And the way we can do that is to take away a whole bunch of food sources and then let people starve so that they're easier to control. So there's a story that goes all the way back to Joseph Stalin. And as I like being a student of history, when things like this, I read about things like this, I remember them so I can bring them up at later times. And I think this is a good time to bring it up. So there was a point where Joseph Stalin had a meeting with a number of his cohorts, other leadership in the Soviet Union, and he has this chicken brought into the meeting. And he proceeds to take this chicken in his arms, and some of you guys have probably heard this story. Leave a comment if you've ever heard this story. Please leave a comment. He takes the chicken in his arms and begins to pluck all of the feathers, one by one, or bunches with handfuls, out of this chicken. And the chicken is absolutely screaming at him. And he just keeps plucking this bird until almost all of the feathers are out. He drops the bird, and the bird runs into the corner away from Joseph Stalin. Then Joseph Stalin reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out some breadcrumbs. And he puts it down so the chicken can see it, and the chicken comes on over and eats out of his hand. Don't think that lesson has been lost to history. There are people, and history shows this, that know and understand control, understand what food plays, what part food plays in control, and will use that to the best of their ability to control you, the population, the plebes, whatever you want to call it. That has not been lost. People understand this. People in places of power understand this. So what you can do is prepare accordingly. You are a homesteader. You need to grow food. Your top thing you need to grow is protein or high calorie, dense calorie plants like root vegetables, potatoes, carrots, things like that. But protein, the egg is the perfect protein in my opinion. It contains everything inside that shell to create another living creature. It is the perfect protein. Farm-raised eggs from chickens that go out and they eat the things that they're supposed to eat, not these commercially farmed things. They're given a bunch of grains and all kinds of other stuff. They never get to roam around outside, never get to eat an insect in their entire life, never get to eat a blade of grass in their entire life. Stay away from those eggs. But have chickens that are allowed to free range and they can eat all these other things and make a very nutritious, protein-packed egg. You need to concentrate on growing these things. Learn how to pickle them. Learn how, store them in vinegar. If you want to do water glassing, I think the whole water glassing thing is kind of ridiculous because you're talking about keeping an egg for up to 2 years. Why on earth would you do that? What if I don't have any chickens? Well, then get more chickens. They're the most populated bird on planet Earth. You can find more chickens. But if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm just telling you, concentrate on proteins. Raise some animals. If you have the land, do the research and figure out what's going to work best for your land. Find out heritage breed meat producing animals that in your area that people are raising and they're being successful with, and then also do likewise. And then you have people you can work with to share ideas and be successful. I want you to be successful, but they are going full bore and attacking your ability to eat meat and eat protein. They don't want you to have it because they know it makes you strong. It makes you independent. It allows you to resist. They want you to be that chicken hovering in the corner with no protection whatsoever, and your only course of action is to come and feed out of the hand of the person who has plucked out all your feathers. That's where they want you. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Hey, check out our merchandise over at teespring.com. You can find our Stupid Shit Hurt shirt, our best-selling shirt of all time. If we had more hurt in this world, we'd have an awful, awful lot less people trying to stop you from eating protein and meat. Also, just to let you know, all of our Perfect Pickler kits right now are being sent out with a cabbage packet from ClearwaterValleyFarms.com. There's a link in the description below for Clearwater Valley Farms. If you need spring seeds this year, that's your place to get it. It's a small home-based business. They've been going on for a few years now, and I love them. I choose them long over the whole liberal people over at Baker Creek who believe in vaccines and all this other nonsense. No, I don't do Baker Creek anymore. I do clearwatervalleyfarms.com. You can find the link in the description below. Also, we are still giving away these herbal extract books to all of our patrons. You can join to be a patron for as little as $1 a month. And you'll get access to download these PDFs. If you buy these PDFs on Amazon, you're going to pay $800 for one and about $900 for the other. The reason they're so expensive is because of the valuable information contained within. I urge you to get this stuff. It gives you a lot of great information you will not find on the internet today because the pharmaceutical companies have spent millions of dollars to try to erase this from human history and human memory. Okay? This is not how to make this is not about how to make tinctures. This is about how to use them and why to use them. So great information. Just join Patreon. You can go to my website at AmericanHomestead.com. There's a patron link right there. You can click on that button and then it'll take you right to the page where you can download these books, these PDFs. And a lot of my patrons are being smart about it and they're downloading these into their own hard copies. Because here's the deal. If it all goes away, the internet, you're not going to be able to get these from the cloud. You want to get hard copies of these things. Okay. We'll leave it at that. See you next time in the homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.